name's Randy. A few months ago, my company made a commitment to updating its driver logging system with Keller Scan, software and hardware, just like your company did. Keller Scan lets your company scan your logs right into the computer database. But to do that, they're going to need your help. You'll need to use a new scannable driver log form. But don't worry, it isn't much different than the one you've been using. Looks familiar, doesn't it? You just need to follow a few simple guidelines so that the scanner can read the log. I learned those in just a few minutes. For example, to start with, use a black pen. Other colors work, but black is best. The scanner doesn't do so well with pencil. The log has white boxes where you enter the date, your name, driver ID number, or any other required information. Make sure your entries are neat and readable. In the date field, don't use leading zeros. When you enter the month of September, for instance, it should look like this, blank space 9, not like this, 09. Don't use any spaces or dashes between numbers in the driver or co-driver ID field. This way is correct. The dash here is not correct. Also, the figure 1 written like this and the 7 with a line through it are going to confuse the computer. Be sure to use a plain 1 and a plain 7. If you use letters, they can be either upper or lower case. Any mark you make in one of these white boxes tells the computer to try to read the information there. So don't make any mark in any boxes that are supposed to be empty. Here's an example of the wrong thing to do. I signed my name in the signature field, but I let the Y extend down into the co-driver field. When the scanner reads this form, this mark will tell the computer that I had a co-driver, and I didn't. Okay, now for the grid. With the scannable log, you have to be careful about two things. First, be sure that your recording line is in the middle of the row, in the white area. Second, try to make sure the lines don't overlap. Here's the way it should look. Overlapping lines like this confuse the scanner. When you enter the total hours at the end of your day, make sure that the numbers are readable. To enter time in quarter, half, or three-quarter hour increments, use decimals, 0.25, 0.50, or 0.75. And remember, you don't need leading zeros. For the duty status change log, always draw vertical lines that cross through the white status change grid. You can add lines to the ends of these vertical lines and then write the locations of the status changes on them. If you've been off duty for several days, you can use one scannable form instead of separate forms for each day. Here's one of mine from last week. You enter the beginning off-duty date in the date box. Use a line to indicate off-duty status in the grid and enter the total number of days off-duty on the form. Remember to enter 24 for the total number of hours. Keep in mind that the scanner tries to read anything you write on the grid, so you can't just write off-duty on the grid. If your company requires you to write off-duty on the form, be sure to use the remarks section, like this. Be sure to enter all the data that your company asks you to. Once you've completed the log, tear the form out carefully. Don't tear the corners of the form. The little black boxes in the corners tell the scanner where to find the data fields. If even one corner is missing, the scanner won't be able to read the form. And that's about it. If you need help while you're filling out your log, you'll find printed instructions in the front of your logbook. Let's do a quick review. Here's my form from yesterday. I used black ink, but you could use blue or red ink too. Note that there are no leading zeros in the date, no spaces or dashes in the driver ID code entry. All the log lines are within the white area of the grid, and there aren't any overlapping lines. Hours and totals are filled in. The duty status change bars all cross through the grid. All the entries are clear, and there aren't any stray marks or zeros in any of the fields that should be empty. This form should scan with no problems. And yours will too, if you learn and follow the guidelines. Stay safe out there, okay?